Good evening, boys, girls, and MBs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations. Welcome to the one and only Alec Gunter stream. My name is Alec Gunter. Give me just a second so I can make an announcement because I forgot to do that. Hold on. They are. Here's some of those things. Very nice. Well, you're welcome here. All are welcome. All are welcome. Alec.com/live at stream announcements. Okay. All are welcome in this place. Church nerds know that song. What's up? Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's a very yellow tints to my room right now. Let me see if it looks better with the bisexual lighting today. I've got some shade now from the trees outside. What do you guys think? I think it's not as yellow, at least. Yeah, I think that's the jam. That's good. Welcome in, everybody. Matt Walsh in the title. Don't worry, we're looking at him looking at his TikToks, I guess. The main thing we're doing tonight is we're having somebody from Progressive Victory come on to talk about what's going on in Yonkers, New York. Because as some of you will know, if not most of you, I will be in Yonkers, New York the weekend of June 21st. I always confused April and June. I don't know why my brain does that. But yeah, so I'll be there, your boy, Alec Gunter. And if you come get a picture with me, I have decided that anybody who gets a picture with me, while supplies lasts, I'll give out a golden Alec Gunter sticker. Because I'm overstocked on them, actually. So I think that's a good idea. So since I'm overstocked, I'll just be bringing the golden stickers and handing them out to anybody who comes and gets a picture with me. So, yeah, plan for it. Love the shirt. Thank you. I also love the shirt. Cinnabon. It's great. I got Katie Long John Sylveon. It's a very yellow shirt with Sylveon on it. I'd totally go if it wasn't an international flight away. Well, Dylan Burns makes it work. So, what's your excuse? I'm just kidding. Do you want to attend a local Pride event? Yeah, do that. Attend local events as well. And even if you can't make it to this event, you can still go to Progressive Victory's website. And, actually, I should put that in the description. You can still go to Progressive Victory's website and sign up for future events. Hello, Darkheart. Welcome. Just a little guy. Just a little bean. Hold on. Hold on. A PV command? We do not. I don't even know if commands are working, but let me look. It's a good question. Chatbot. Is it chatbot customization? Oh, great. They're working. Good. Yeah, good idea. Let's add a command. Join us in Yonkers, New York to help re-elect Jamal Bowman. Copy this link. Okay. Now, if you refresh chat, it should be working. Exclamation PV. Or not. I guess we'll give it a minute. Yeah, everything should be working now. You should be able to give me money at your leisure, of course. Everything should be working. It was a problem on my end because there's like a thing on PayPal that's either set to sandbox or live, and I had it set to sandbox. But it had been set to live for so long that I didn't think that it was a problem, but apparently it was. So there you go. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Tushji Nay. Watched recently, enjoyed the content, found your channel from a post supposedly making fun of you. There was someone, clip of you looking at a Wendigoon video comment. Okay. Dude, those drama freaks are disgusting. Like, anything that I say about anybody in that space just immediately gets clipped and taken out of context. It's insane. I didn't even say anything that bad about Wendigoon. I just don't know him that well and I don't care to. Here. Any new Gunter Etsy creations? Not Etsy, but I can show you what I've been working on for my dad. Here, hold on. So here we have the almost completed Darth Vader doll. It is almost done. What it needs is it still needs a mask detail and then the hat, and then that's it. And then she be done. And I'm trying to get him done by tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it, but hopefully. Kirby Drip is definitely on point. Well, thank you. Doubting God's existence. You'll see. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Other than that, I made a pair of hand warmers, another one. Because I enjoy these very much. I enjoy making them. Don't ask me why. They're very soft. And I think they look pretty good, actually. They're not bad. Any plans on limited run promo shirts for PV? No. At least no, I don't think so. Not for me, anyway. Only thing I know is that I'm going to New York, apparently. That's so good, thank you. I wanted to show you guys real quick. I changed the camera so that it's down here, which is kind of awkward, I'll be honest. But I was thinking that down here you might be able to see my hands better. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this better than the above view? I'm scared to see what you're sending. What do you mean? I told you what I'm sending. I sent you a stress ball. Right? I think it works. Well, do you guys like this better or do you like the above view better? 'Cause I can do either. I don't care. Put a cam directly on your face. That's a good idea. I should consider doing that. Dr. Mario music, it is. So I'm going to show you real quick just how I kind of make the hand warmers, because I got to make another pair for a friend of mine. 8. You got to chain 31 like this. I won't make the whole thing right now, don't worry. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, come on, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I still don't have the cleanest chains. I'm here for the God debate. Oh, it's not going to be a debate. 23, 24, 25. I haven't had a good debate in a while, though, I'll say. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay. So you chain 31, and then you skip one chain. You go through the second chain here. You just do a single crochet. And you do that 4 times. 2. My technique is kind of weird. 3. 4. And then after that, we're gonna do what's called a moss stitch. And that's what you see in the middle of this hand warmer, right? That's the moss stitch right there. Hold on, let me make sure I got this on shuffle. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, how you do the moss stitch, if you know your stitches, of course, is you're going to do a slip stitch in the first one, followed by half double crochet, so we wrap around once, hook under, come on, sorry, hook under, would you, okay, yarn over, pull under, and then you pull through all 3 loops, and that's your 1 moss stitch, which is technically 2 stitches. And then we do it again, and we do that 14 times. Oh, sorry, that was the single crochet. So it's slip stitch, half double, and then we would do that continuously. I think you guys could probably see it better overhead, maybe? Unless you guys like it there. If you guys like it there, I'll keep it. I could zoom in a little bit more, maybe. Maybe that's better. So, single. It's hard to do it while people are watching. I signed up for the PV event for Bowman. Hey, let's go, Glitchmaster. Yo, let's go. Come get a picture with me. I'll give you a free sticker. Why am I fucking this up? There we go. No, slip stitch. And then, oh, I messed that up. It's hard when with the first chain to like get the things through still for me. I don't know how people do it so easily. There we go. Okay. You guys get the idea. I love free stickers. Excellent. We're gonna love me and Yonkers then. I can debate on whether your use would look cute in a cop outfit. I thought it said crop top for a second. I was like, I'm not wearing a crop top. Forget it. Not happening. I might do that while we talk to the Progressive Victory person, but I also might not. I'm not sure yet. Before the Progressive Victory person comes on, we could probably get through the Matt Walsh thing, because they come on in a half hour, so I'm thinking we can get through Matt Walsh, and then we can do that. We gotta hurry, though. Okay. Hush, Jack. I'll make sure this is fixed. Oh, there it is. Okay. Playlists, politics. No, politics reacts what I need. There you are.
So we're going to venture again today into the...
Okay.
So we're going to venture...
All right, I'm just checking the volume on it.
Again today into the dark, cavernous...
I think that's good. Oh, shit.
If so... So we're going
to... Okay. There you go. Okay, so it's been a while since we've checked in on our boy Matt Walsh. I just want to see how he's doing. Apparently TikTok doesn't like him too much. Surprise, surprise. And he's going to respond to some haters. So I want to see what they have to say. Because I love it when conservatives post their L's. It's very fun for me. Let's take a look.
So we're going to venture again today into the dark, cavernous bowels of TikTok to watch and respond to some anti-me, anti-Matt Walsh TikTok videos. You would never expect this. It's shocking to learn this.
I love anti-Matt Walsh videos.
But small minority on that website do not like me very much.
What an L. Like, why would you just openly admit that, like, a ton of people don't like you? You know? Well, I guess a ton of people don't like me, but it's not like a big old crowd of people on TikTok hate me. You know? I'm just saying.
I don't know why, but that's how they feel about it.
You don't want to be not liked.
So we'll quickly go through, I think I've got 5 of these videos of the many to choose from. Here's the
Granny Puss, I need a hug. Hugs you gently through screen. There. It will all be okay.
first one.
Y'all, the Crispy's chicken thing, it's gotten out of control. It's gotten out of hand, y'all. Nobody can just let West Virginians be weird. Y'all can't let us be weird. You gotta make it a Discord.
What's the Crispy's chicken thing? Matt will probably explain it.
Matt Walsh has thrown his hat into the ring and get into our backwoods chicken sandwich business. Y'all couldn't just let us laugh about things.
Hello, Queen Laura.
You couldn't let us have our memes. Matt, you had to make it racist and weird. And now every dumbass in town is gonna be like, Matt Walsh makes good points. Because Matt Walsh is a literal demon.
I gotta say, I cannot stand the TikTok trend of like zooming in on the face and then zooming back out and zooming in on the face again. And then I hate it so much. I hate TikTok.
You know what? There's only one thing to do now.
That's why I quit
was going
posting
to avoid
there.
it, but there's only one thing left to do. I have to go on Alligator Jackson's podcast. Because now Matt Walsh is aware of Alligator Jackson. And if I do not want Diaper Baby Plushie Man to infiltrate my area, I've got to go even the playing field. God, Matt Walsh, why can't you just let us have fun? Conservatives ruin everything. I swear to God. We're having a fun time, laughing at our memes, making fun of this guy for making a fool of himself on Alligator Jackson's podcast. And Matt Walsh had to f it up like he f***s up everything else in my life.
What's Alligator? When was he on Alligator? I don't know Alligator Jackson, so I would like to know. Here, hold on. I got too many tabs open, and probably some that should not be open. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, definitely some that should not have been open. Holy shit. Okay, what are we doing? YouTube. Thankfully, I have a stream delay, so if anything happens, I can just end. Matt Walsh on Alligator Jackson? Is this a whole thing I gotta look at? Yeah, I guess it is. Right? No. Maybe it is. Yeah, this is his video, I guess. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what this is. We'll just keep watching this.
I've screwed up everything in this person's life. I don't know how I'm doing that. I don't even know who this person is. Now, just a little...
Wrong meme. You should have used... It genuinely would have been funny if you had used the Thanos meme. I don't even know who you are. But, to be fair, Matt Walsh is ruining a lot of people whose names he will never know. Like, he's ruining their lives, so that's cool.
Context here. A few weeks ago, on the show, we talked about a manager of a fried chicken restaurant in West Virginia, in Huntington, I think it was, who went on a local West Virginia podcast hosted by a man named Alligator Jackson.
Gator needs a scat, you punk bitch.
To claim that customers who don't like his restaurant are racist. And by the way, this is me getting involved in local issues in a positive way, because I will say that I mentioned this Alligator Jackson's podcast on the show a couple weeks ago. And at the time, I think he had like 20 subscribers. I just went to go check. He's at like 500 now. That's all Sweet Baby Gang. So that's us supporting Alligator Jackson and his podcast.
Here, wait. I want to see Alligator Jackson now. Does he have a YouTube channel? Yeah. No, this isn't it.
That's what this guy. It's all Sweet Baby Gang. So that's subscribers. I just went to go check. He's at like 500.
Talk Huntington. Ah, here we go. What is with his homepage? Oh, sorry. I thought that I couldn't see anything with a short. Only got one short though. You should take that off. Matt Walsh on Todd Huntington. Yeah, I don't know who these guys are. I don't really care. Wait, what happened? Oh shit, did I X out my video? No, I didn't. Good.
Now, that's all Sweet Baby Gang. So that's us supporting Alligator Jackson and his podcast. That's what this guy, I think, is referring to. A couple things. First of all, I always enjoy it when I hear this
Wait, you think? I thought you could always tell, Matt. Interesting.
this from people. Anytime I have an opinion about something and they say, why can't you just let us enjoy this? Why can't you let us have fun? Well, how am I stopping you from enjoying anything?
Look, okay, it's not my fault.
I didn't know that your enjoyment of a thing hinges on me personally endorsing it. And finally, all I can say, sir.
I just like, I don't have enough context to understand what's going on. And I feel like if you're doing like a general TikTok react, you should give a little bit more context. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Or madam, is that...
Is he bragging about 500 subs? Well, I don't like to like shit on people for how many subs they have typically, unless they shit on other people for it. But I will say getting only 500 additional subs when Matt Walsh comes on is a pretty big L on Matt Walsh's part. I'm not going to lie.
Sir.
You'd think was
I'm
his
going with
fault.
sir. In terms of stopping you from being weird, I assure you that I...
It's just funny that he thinks that's an insult when like that's kind of the fucking point probably is that you can't tell what gender the person is. So that's a W on that person's part.
could not ever stop that. There's nothing I can do to stop you from being that.
He's too short. He dresses like a girl. He's different.
That's something that your parents
What?
were for, and they apparently
these
didn't do their job
references?
in that regard, and I'm quite sorry about that. Which is a good segue into my
Unlike Matt Walsh, who is a very good parent.
next TikTok critic. Let's watch that one.
I'm transgender.
It's possible that you could fool someone. You've put your identity on the table.
Love and
Notice he will never ever show the clip where I owned him. He'll never show it. Never.
support for this beautiful trans woman. But please don't debate Matt Walsh. That man is a bad fake.
I would totally debate Matt Walsh. I learned during that encounter with him that he has no idea what he's doing unless he's in front of a script. Honestly, like, he is so bad at public appearances.
Actor who is capitalizing off of transphobia to make money.
And also, I disagree with this person. You should be willing to engage with people from the other side sometimes. Now, there are times when you shouldn't. You know, Matt Walsh is already, like, there's no platforming Matt Walsh. You know what I mean? There's no platforming him. He already exists in, like, an area where everybody knows who he is, basically. So there's no platforming him. Everyone already knows who he is. So it's not a bad thing to, like, go after him. You know what I mean? Like, in person or otherwise.
Plain and simple. His intention in engaging in any sort of conversation
That's
about
pretty true,
this
Kermit.
is to get a soundbite and to embarrass the transgender community online. If you're going to be talking to him, have a quick and witty response to what is a woman. Just be like self-aware if you have the tools to debate him. Joe Rogan ate this man up. Jon Stewart would eat this man up. If you can't, leave this man alone. Focus on having your conversations about being trans with people that have empathy. There are plenty of those people out here. Leave Matt Walsh alone.
I think there's merit. I think there's merit in making Matt Walsh look stupid. I'm just saying. It's like those Charlie Kirk sessions. It's all pre-engineered to exacerbate the grift to make it seem as if there's no opposition because he can be louder than college students. Yes, that's correct. Yes. It's all like, you know, scripted and mapped out. I just want Walsh banned from IRL. I do wish that Walsh would be banned from the IRL servers. It'd be nice. Need a patch update to get rid of the Walsh NPC.
I agree. Leave me alone.
Matt Walsh,
What is with these references?
transphobia. His intention in engaging in
Who says that if you're trans
They're not good jokes.
identified, that you should have a quick and witty response to the "what is a woman" question? Now, I have quite famously been seeking such a response from the trans activist crowd for many, many years now.
Matt Walsh, why do you think a 13-year-old rape victim should give birth? I've been seeking an answer to this question since I asked it last year, and he hasn't been able to answer yet.
And I think that the reason why there hasn't been a quick and witty response offered is because there is not one available.
Yeah.
Great question. I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
As far as I could tell, and as far as apparently anyone could tell, there is no quick and witty way to give a wrong answer to the easiest question in existence.
There's plenty of ways. You can say a woman is whatever gets my dick hard. A woman is whatever they want to be. A woman is a woman, you know? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think a woman is. A woman is just a gender role that people kind of take on, like it's a label that people take on and kind of morph it into their own their own identity, if you will. You know? Like that's what a woman is. It's a gender identity. That's all it is. If you talk about female, typically people who are female are also women, but not always. You know, like there are plenty of people who identify as women who don't have XX chromosomes, like Swyer syndrome women, or what is it, Klinefelter syndrome, I think, with just X. You know, there's all kinds of like genetic variables that go on there. There's also just transgender women, XY, you know, born and raised as a male person, as a boy, but then later they realized, or you know, if they were, assuming they weren't forced into that, later they realized, oh, I actually identify better as a woman, you know? Sorry, that was a drawn-out answer, but you guys get the idea.
And the second thing is that if you feel you can only debate people who empathize with you, that's a pretty good indication that you aren't very confident in
Matt Walsh has this appearance of a man's man. I disagree. I think that Matt Walsh looks like even more soy than I do, honestly.
your point of view. But even if that is the standard, if the standard is that you should, you know, that you should only debate people who have empathy for you, well, here's the good news. I do have empathy. I have a lot of empathy for trans-identified people.
Yeah, that's bullshit. We talked about this so many times. Matt Walsh and his ilk do not have any sympathy for trans people. They just pretend that they do while bullying them. It's like that one, I still need to get that edited and uploaded. That one guy that I went over a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I think last week. He's a, what is it called? A grifter. He's a trans medicalist. He's a trans medicalist who was going over TikToks and basically just making fun of people for how they look and then being like, well, but I care about you. But I care about you and that's why I'm doing this. It's like, no, you don't. Fuck off with that. I wish that they would just say that they hate us. You know what I mean? Like, that's so much better than the condescension.
Well, a ton of empathy for them.
Hey, gay fish, what's up?
And that's why I tell them the truth. Because there is no empathy without truth. Whether you're feeling stressed or anxious or simply seeking a moment of peace and tranquility, the Hallow app has something for you. Hallow offers an incredible range of guided meditation. Whether you have a free at Hallow, download the Hallow 3-month.
I was just
6,000 prayers and meditations.
I was just scrolling on my phone and I saw a picture of shakshuka and I thought, you know, it sounds really good. Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today. Because I have no plans and I don't have kids and I don't have a husband and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store.
Oh, wait, I've seen this one. Wait, this isn't anybody hating on Matt Walsh. This is just like a TikTok. I've seen this TikTok. Also, they're getting it from the Young Turks, which I find interesting. No, this is, oh, it is, sorry. This is the Young Turks account. Interesting. But anyway, no, this person is like talking about how free they are, right? To just like go home and be able to do what they want, which is awesome. That's what everybody should be striving for.
And learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today.
Now, if that video was entirely inoffensive to you and you're maybe even a little jealous of the 29-year-old named Julia, congratulations for being a normal human being.
True.
However, for anti-freedom...
I don't like Anna Kasparian in her takes lately, but she does hit sometimes.
Freak, Matt Walsh, apparently that was a highly offensive video. So offensive that he started ranting about it. Her life doesn't revolve around her family and kids, so instead it revolves around TV shows and pop stars. Worst of all, she's too stupid to realize how depressing this is.
She's living the dream. Like, bless her heart. You know what I thought when I saw that video? America.
So we have demon and anti-freedom freak. I got to put both of those in my bio. Like, we don't need to open up this can of worms again. We already did we did one whole
He already has fascist in his bio, I believe.
News cycle about me being an awful bully because I expressed an opinion about a video that this woman chose to put on the internet. One that, by the way, lots of other people were giving their opinions on.
What's wrong with Matt Walsh? Did the kid he was keeping in his basement escape or something? I'm pretty sure he keeps all of his kids. Like, let's just say this. I would not want to be one of his kids. Let's just say that.
I wasn't even like the first one. Okay, it wasn't like she posted that video and then I was the first comment on it, because I don't follow her work that closely or at all. So lots of people are giving their opinions about it one way or another. I come along and say, well, here's my opinion also. And then all of a sudden it's, well, how dare you bully this poor woman? What is it? It's none of your business how she chooses to live. Okay, well then why didn't you put it on the internet? Like, why are you making a video and saying, hey, internet, here's how I live?
Nobody's saying it's not your business. They're saying you're wrong. They're calling you wrong. They're saying that you suck because this woman is clearly happy living her life the way that she is. And you're telling her, no, she's not. Like, that's the problem. You're saying, no, she's actually not happy. So you're just wrong. You know? Like, that's all there is to it. There's not people... It's not about it not being his business, because, frankly, if you post something to the internet, you've made it everybody's business, okay? Like, if you post something to your social media, you've now made it everybody's business. So he can comment on it all he wants. I'm not saying he can't. But what I am saying is that if you comment on it with the wrong take, people are going to say, hey, man, you're kind of fucking stupid and also evil. Because you think that people like should like a woman like that should like be tied to a man or something. You know, I was gonna say working, but he probably believes that women need to be chained to their kitchens and, you know, beat up until they make you a sandwich.
I live my life. The moment you do that, you are inviting the internet to give their opinion back to you. If you don't want their opinion, don't tell them.
Damn, actually.
To the claim that I was offended by it, there's nothing about it that personally offends me. The reason I don't find it offensive is that I find it pitiful. And I don't want you to lead a pitiful existence centered around nothing but yourself and your own amusement, but it doesn't really harm me.
How's it pitiful? What's pitiful about it? Like, honestly, there's nothing pitiful about being free to do what you want. Like, I am about as free as a person can get under capitalism, like an average working class person. I show up at my job, I have a client that I take care of, it's one patient, I do my cares on him, and then from there, I'm free to do whatever I want. Lately, it's been crocheting. Sometimes it's working on my YouTube stuff. Now, I'm still tethered to that spot, so I can't, like, go anywhere that I want to, obviously. I can't go traveling, obviously. But I can, within reason, do basically whatever I want in the intermediate space, you know, which is cool. That's awesome for me. And I do that 3 days a week, and then the other 4 days a week, I'm totally free. I can do whatever I want, and I make enough money. So that's what freedom is just being able to do whatever you want and not have to worry, like, within reason, and not have to worry, like, too much about how much you're spending or how much, you know, this thing will cost or that thing will cost or, you know, whether or not you have time for it. You know, the more time that you have to do stuff and the more stuff that you can do feasibly, the more freedom you have. That's what freedom is. It's not like the government telling you that you, like, it's not the government being out of your business. Sometimes the government being in your business grants you a lot more freedom, actually. Just ask people on disability. You know, people on disability get money. Money is freedom in this world. So his idea of freedom is just wrong. That's why he needs a diaper. Yeah. Oh, you were talking to somebody else. But yeah, no, you're right. I still agree. Someone take the memes away from this boomer. Yeah, his editor needs to be put in check. I don't even think they're funny. Conservatives moan more than people who I take to bed. I wonder if I should be personally offended at that or not. I love the taste of freedom. Just ate some freedom fries with nacho cheese. Nice. That's awesome. That sounds delicious. I'm actually pretty hungry, not gonna lie.
If you do. I don't want people to live lives like this, even if it's not me. So it's compassion is what it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Also, I'm gonna get probably copyright strike for that, so that's cool. But, like, first of all, that last one wasn't even about... Oh, no, last one was about Matt Walsh. My bad. No, it was. But yeah, like, Matt Walsh was just wrong on that. I agree with Anna Kasparian on that. Like, if you don't want people to be as free as possible in, you know, the year of our Lord and Savior 2024, then you are just a bad person. People should be allowed to do whatever they want as long as it's not infringing upon the liberties of other people around them. And Matt Walsh, being a homophobe and a transphobe and a traditionalist who wants women to be working constantly at home for their husbands, cleaning the house and taking care of 12 kids, while the husband is out at work all day for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, making barely enough to scrape by. That's the world that he wants, and frankly, I just don't think that that's a very good way to live, and it's not free. So Matt Walsh hates freedom. I am firm in that. He completely hates freedom. And yeah, it was a very pitiful video. Just, you know, wellness check on Matt Walsh complete. He is still not well. Still not well. All right, here's what we're going to do. We have about 5 minutes. I have not heard back from the person who's supposed to be coming in today yet. So I'm going to take the next 5 minutes, go to the bathroom real quick, and take my afternoon medicine because I forgot to do that, and I'm very tired right now, and that will help. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. The PV person did get back to me. I'm not sure if we're still doing 6, but we're figuring it out now. If not, there's plenty of other stuff to do. Let's see. Oh, my bad.
Everything is political.
All right.
Sunday school teachers tell kids to...
if the PV person needs a little bit more time, we'll go over the next video, which is where the doubting God's existence part of this comes into play. Within 6 hours? You're literally like on the opposite... No, that'd be if it was 12 hours. Never mind. You're a fourth of the way across the world from me. I'm not in the mood for this. Let's turn on video game music for causing mischief and mayhem, shall we? Yeah, there we go. This is a perfect song. It's got Link running around breaking pots like the little monster that he is. Little gremlin. I'm in Central, the realist time zone. Very nice. Or no, not Central. That'd be, sorry. I'm America brained. Whatever CET is. Central European time, maybe? Okay, 6:15 it is. We do not have time to do the Redeem Zoomer video just yet. So, I do have a video that we might have time for. I just remembered. Yeah, we'll definitely have time for this.
What a
Okay, so this is just a quick react to a video called Femcell Logic from Millennia Thinker. I've gone over one of Millennia Thinker's videos before. They strike me as somebody who's like centrist, you know, maybe a little bit right-leaning. This person makes like Wojak videos, and this one popped up on my feed and it looked interesting. A femcell is essentially a woman who cannot get laid or it's a woman who chooses not to get, a woman who it's an involuntarily, oh god, I can't talk, sorry. Rebooting, hold on. It is an involuntary celibate who is a woman. That is a femcell. So let's take a look at the femcell video real quick before we have the representative from PV on.
What a beautiful morning. I can't wait to see what the day will bring. A hot bath. A well-rounded breakfast, mostly oatmeal, without sugar. I'm counting all my calories. I text all my friends what they will be wearing today. We do this so we don't copy our outfits. Okay. That would be awkward. My friends and I walk through the school hallway to assert our dominance and show the plebs how cool we are.
Yep, that's me. Wait, to the left.
Are we really doing this? Oh, okay.
More to the left. I wish. Yep, that's me. You probably don't care how I got here.
Oh, shit. They duped me. I really thought this was going to be the one. I mean, she's still cute, though.
Sorry. Care how I got here, but that's fine. No one
Sorry. Check this out.
I don't know. I like
guys
tired
aren't
girls.
as gentle with me as they are with other girls.
What are you guys doing?
Can't you see? Pass it.
Hey, Julian, what are you doing after school?
What day is it today?
Tuesday?
Then probably back and legs.
Wouldn't you like to hang out with us?
I don't know.
Man, that used to be me back in the day, man. And by that, I mean like a year and a half ago.
What about Tommy?
Who? Is it because of the smell? I wish I could do that. Just go up to someone and just casually talk. But oh well, it's a third year. It's a bit too late for that now. Not that I don't have friends, I have some. Too bad they are boring and don't bring any guys along. Okay. Yeah, we know Susie, you're cool, Susie. I wonder if you would be as cool and confident if you lost your tits.
I don't know, this just seems like basic, like it's a little bit more edgy, I guess, but it just seems like pretty basic, like Nickelodeon stuff almost, you know what I mean? Like a Nickelodeon drama show that, you know, Dan Schneider, the infamous Dan Schneider, produced.
I wonder what they feel like. Am I the only one getting aggro about this? I'm not saying I want a hot, skinny supermodel with blue eyes, dark hair, and a small, firm butt. That would be nice, of course, but a normal guy would be enough, but he shouldn't be a weirdo either. I would be happy with a normal, well-adjusted man.
This is kind of sad.
Although nowadays a normal guy thinks it's normal to finish on a girl's face. This school sucks.
What? Damn.
本当や大丈夫ですか?
Yes.
これからあなたの人生 WA 変わります。
I'm ready.
家族や偉人のことを忘れなければ
Is this supposed to be a vampire? It's absolutely a vampire.
なりません。
Doesn't
This
matter.
checks out.
Hit me with that good stuff.
Yep.
Yes. Damn it. Dad?
Jesus Christ.
Dad, where are the batteries? Dad? Dad, where are you?
Okay, we're going to assume for all intents and purposes that every character here is above the age of 18.
Oh,
even though
I
it's
can
taking place in
explain.
a school. God damn. Oh shit.
The batteries are in the lower drawer in the kitchen. Air out the place from time to time, okay?
Why am I such
What
a
a supportive
dumbass?
father.
No one wrote.
Oh man, that's still the worst feeling, even when your dad or parent or whoever is supportive. I'm Big Ol' Rick. I'm going in. Morty, I'm going in. I'm Big Ol' Rick.
No one. Is that good? Is it bad?
Okay, I don't fucking think so. I don't care how ugly, fat, whatever you think you are as a girl. If you're on a dating website, you are going to get matches. Just 1000% of the time, it is going to happen. I'm sorry. That is one thing that girls have over guys, like 1000%, unless you're on Grindr as a guy. If you're on Grindr as a guy, then you can start to feel like, you know, what a girl feels like, because you'll get a bunch of dudes who you aren't attracted to trying to message you all the time and send you nudes. So yeah. If you want to feel like a girl, go on Grindr.
Zero experience,
If you're a
zero
guy.
adventures, zero life. Supposedly girls have it easier. Is it my
The pickle's
fault?
also 18
I don't
plus.
know anymore. Once I got a friend, she got drunk and told me I looked like some actress. I didn't know who she was talking about. I had to Google her later and she didn't look too good. But I think it was a compliment, so. I remember she wanted to kiss me, but my autism wouldn't let me. They say girls taste the
Autism.
same when you close your eyes.
We are not the same. A man has to have something going in their life, have money, status. A woman just has to.
Wait, this is kind of accurate.
A man has to have something going in their life, have money, status.
And the
A
NPC
woman just
thing,
has
I
to
like
look
that.
good.
And what if a girl is ugly? I seen a lot of busted
This is
looking
funny.
hoes around here.
It doesn't matter. Any woman can spread her legs, and the dick will be there.
Okay, I do want to clarify, just because you can get matches on as a girl on any dating website does not necessarily mean that they're good matches or anything like that. Like, you can still obviously be an involuntary celibate as a woman. It's just not nearly as common, let's be honest. But yeah, that was kind of sad. I don't have much more to say about it. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, to analyze it a little bit more, like, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't learn anything. Like, it was just a front to back story of like a girl who can't get laid, I guess, which is sad. So, Oh, she's got the stats. Wait, let's look at the stats. Name, femcell, level 30, traits. So level 30, maybe that's her age? I don't know. This unit moves last because she is still waiting. She can't be a wizard. There is a 0.025% chance that at the beginning of the battle, Prince Charming will appear and immediately replace this unit. Any friendly male unit with less charisma is invisible to this unit and cannot be hit by AoE damage. Body dysmorphia, clothing that covers the entire body gains a bonus to stats. Oof, that one hits. That one hurts. Okay. I don't know. I thought it was a decently made video, but it did strike me as a little bit flat. That's all. As someone who's openly a fanboy, it's a problem. I hate getting deep pics randomly. Yeah. Yeah, not great. Well, would you guys, so during the call, which is starting in 5 minutes, would you guys rather watch me crochet, or do you want me to play Risk of Rain while I do it? What do you guys want? Or Rocket League. We could also do Rocket League, I guess. Rocket League would probably be a little bit more mind-numbing. If you don't like who you are outwardly, you'll never improve. Yeah, you should like who you are as a person. You should at least be able to be with yourself, you know? Whichever makes you happier. I don't know. I'll probably crochet since I've never done that while talking to somebody. We'll see how it goes. If it turns out I can't crochet and listen at the same time, then I'll stop. Need to find your own style and work on expressing that. Love who you are. I agree. Yeah, if you don't love who you are, it's a problem. You gotta, like I said, you gotta be comfortable being with yourself. I lost my place here. I gotta count my stitches. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see, we got... I like watching you crochet. Well, that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Which means I need another slip stitch. Do you guys do like this angle better than the top angle, right? Slip stitch. And then half double. Once I get past the foundational chain, I'm a lot faster. I just got to get past the foundation because I'm still not very fast at it. Come on. There we go. And then next is 12 single crochets. It's easier to see? Okay. I figured. That's why I did it. I don't have to zoom in nearly as much when I do it like this. I always get a little nervous because I'm not sure. Oh, I think I messed up somewhere. Shit. Yeah, I definitely messed up somewhere. Hold on. God damn it. Let me see if I can get this first row done before we start. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. And for those who don't stick around, I hope you come back because we got more stuff to go over. We still got to question God's existence. And I'm probably going to leak some some viewers. Sorry, I try to keep it close to the camera, but it's tricky. Three, 4, come on. Five. 6. No. I hate splitting the yarn. I split the yarn. God damn it. Ugh. There we go. Seven. This is peak entertainment. Watch closely. Pay attention, kids. You might need this in your everyday life. 8. I have to start these stupid things over so many times because I lose track of where I'm at. The worst. 10. 11. I love myself, but find people around me yucky mainly because I'm in a Republican place right now. Oof, I'm so sorry. That sucks. 12. It sucks when you love yourself, but you can't find people around you to love you. Even if it's just like family or friends, it's the worst. So I'm sorry. And 14. Okay, now there should be 12 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why are there not 12 left? I'm so fucking bad at this, man. At least I don't think there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 10. Why? It doesn't make any sense. It makes 0 sense. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, gotta turn you down a little bit.
Aw, but I love screaming.
I also love screaming, but I can't do it all the time. Well, hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm vibing. Hopefully you don't. I'm in nature right now, so hopefully you're not hearing the sounds of birds go over my voice.
No, I think we're good. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself and explain why you're here?
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Pixie. I'm in call right now, / I'm in chat or whatever to represent PV, Progressive Victory, because of our upcoming New York event.
Excellent.
Yeah,
so what's going on in New York?
What's going on in New York? We're canvassing for Jamal Bowman.
Really?
Isn't that exciting? Yes, we are.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, and we need as much help as we can get to go show our support to Mr. Bowman, who is a progressive candidate, has a great history fighting for progressive causes, part of the squad. It's just really exciting. There's gonna be a bunch of awesome content creators there. Yeah, I'm just hyped.
Oh yeah, same here. I didn't even know I was going to be in New York, but I got a message a month ago from somebody, I forget who, not Sir Erudite, I think, was messaging people. And at first I wasn't sure, but I saw how many people were going, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to go now. So I will be there, everybody. If you want to come and meet me and take pictures with me and such, I will be there helping out the Jamal Bowman campaign. It'll be a good time. I can't do this. I'm just gonna open a video game. I was trying to crochet while I was talking to you, but
That's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to go into about Jamal Bowman or the campaign that we're doing?
Well, what is it? I guess I just want to talk about like canvassing in general on PB, and then talk a little bit more about New York event, I guess.
Sure.
So yeah, so what is it? It's supposed to be a 2-day canvassing event at least. We're gonna have like tons of fun. There's gonna be a bunch of different leftist content creators. We're gonna be creating all sorts of content revolving around it. The more people that sign up, the better, right? Like the more support, the stronger impact we can make when it comes to, you know, showcasing ourselves to Bowman, getting people to go out and vote for him. Yeah, what are you most excited about?
Ooh, I'm just most excited to meet the other content creators. I know
Aw.
I know a few of the names that are going to be there. I've met a couple in person. I don't know if Dylan Burn. I don't know if you're allowed to say who's going to be there or not. But
Yeah.
oh, I was just going to say, is Dylan Burns going to be there? Do you know? Because I met him.
I don't think he's gonna be there, at least not to what I remember.
That's
But
okay.
if we go to the beautiful, beautiful what is it? Spotlight Twitter sorry, not Spotlight, sorry, Progressive Victory Twitter. We should be able to see the names of people who have already been announced.
Okay,
So
great.
that's kind of cool.
What's the Twitter account?
Progressive Victory, or Progressive Vic for short.
Progressive. Here, let's just try progressive. Here we go. Got it. All right. So where can I go to see who all showing up?
So if you open the Twitter, you should see when you scroll down, we've for the past like couple of weeks or whatever, whenever we get a name, or not whenever we get a name, we space these out. We don't want to give everybody the full run of show till day of, you know. We wanna keep some stuff.
Fair enough. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We got Hey, It's Vadim. I've never heard of that
Nominal
person.
Naomi.
Nominal Naomi. I feel like I feel like I know Naomi. I'm pretty sure.
Stacy K.
Yep, I got Stacy K. Got that.
Yes.
I know that Walsh is going to be there.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah. I've heard. I don't know if you guys have announced that one yet. I won't do any more that I don't know for sure. Or no. No, Necosaurus has said that he's going to be there. He said on stream, so I can announce that.
Yeah.
I love Necosaurus's content. But yeah, it looks like you post a lot. You guys post a lot of clips from a lot of different streamers. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point of Progressive Victory, right? We have so many people on the left who really want to make real change, but it's really hard to do that sometimes, right? It's like everybody's passionate, but there hasn't been really an organization to help funnel that passion into places that are like most productive. A lot of streamers do charity streams, which is great and really important, don't get me wrong, but there's also importance in like legislative action and making sure that you're voting people into power that, you know, can pass like laws essentially, that help fund the programs that we think are important, or help structurally change things so that we don't need to like constantly be on pouring money to like basically temporary help, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Like the way that I put it is, we should always be doing local work, like charity work and you know, fundraising events and whatnot. But it's a lot easier to do that work under leadership that is already progressive as opposed to conservative. And so campaigning for people who are progressive, who will help us with our efforts rather than stand in our way as a roadblock, is extremely important. So Jamal Bowman being one of the squad and speaking as openly as he does against, you know, what Israel is doing in Palestine, on top of a myriad of other issues that he speaks towards, is really important to keep his to keep his keep him in office is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And it just feels like, what is it? I think people are very, basically like upset or unhappy with electoral politics because oftentimes it feels like people are put into power and then nothing happens or nothing changes. But the problem is like we live in like, you know, an electoral democracy, which means that if we want things to change, we need outspoken leaders like Jamal Bowman, and we need them in quantity, right? Because they have to be able to coalesce with each other in order to be able to get bills passed. So it's like it's tiring work because it's so many places that we have to go to, right? To campaign, to say like, hey, let's get this person into office, to convince the local populace. But it's work that if we don't do, like, guess who's more than happy to do it? Like,
yes.
Republicans and established Dems. So it's like, you know, it's hard work, but I think it's really rewarding at the end of the day because when you win, which isn't always, but when you do, and when you're able to push these candidates that are really like truly great for this country, then little by little you start, and sometimes bigly, you start seeing change, you know?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Local elections and even like state representative elections are really important. And from what I understand, progressives have been getting a lot of wins lately.
Yes, we love our progressive wins.
Let's
Summer
go.
Lee.
Let's go. That's awesome. Summer Lee, you said? Is that a progressive?
Yeah.
Is that a progressive victory win?
Progressive Victory helped participate in her phone banking campaign, which is one of the many initiatives that we have when it comes to trying to get like audience members more involved. Because like, you know, obviously we want everybody to go out canvassing. That's our dream. But life is hard and complicated and things get in the way. So something else that Progressive Victory does is that we have phone banking initiatives when it comes to like general for like candidates that we support that people can choose to participate in. So we give training, we give them the list of people that they have to call around the area to help phone bank for those people.
Excellent. And how might somebody be able to get involved in that phone banking or in any kind of work that Progressive Victory is doing?
Well, we have a lovely website. Progressive here, I'll send it to you if you don't have it already on file.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, all you got to do is sign up through there. Then it'll take you to a Discord where we do a lot of political action there, essentially, or organizing. And there's constant like announcements of things that people can join or people can do to basically help out, to get involved, you know, to make a difference.
All right, excellent. I will pull that up as soon as this Rocket League game is over.
I feel that.
Yeah. I got to do something with my hands while I talk to people. I feel like it just helps me focus so much more.
Oh, I feel, yeah, I relate hardcore.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, that's awesome. And honestly, I'm really glad that Progressive Victory is doing what it's doing. Like you said, there's been a lot of negative feelings toward electoralism, especially on the left that I've seen. You know, the Trump people are diehard Trump people. Like, they're going to go vote for him no matter what. And I know, you know, Biden is not doing everything that he could be doing. He's certainly complicit in a lot of negative things going on. And it's got a lot of lefties concerned that their votes or the progressive caucus doesn't matter. You know, and I'm just not one of those people. I think that it's very important to make sure that we're putting both local and national representatives in who will help us rather than stand in our way.
Yeah, I get so sad sometimes when I see some of my fellow lefties being like, voting doesn't matter. Because it's like, I understand, like, there's a lot more to life than voting when it comes to making impact and change. But voting is one thing, one avenue out of many that we should take advantage of, right? Like, we should try to maximize our effect as much as possible. So it's like, if you have a clear way to put a person into power who aligns with our politics, like, you know, you should go do it. And there's a reason. There's a reason why Republicans try so hard to gerrymander, why they try so hard to make it hard for people to vote, you know, passing laws like that make you go through like 20 different steps to get an ID so then that you can maybe vote, you know? Why they don't want felons to vote. Even though
Yep.
with a Trump conviction, that's gonna be interesting to see. But whatever.
Oh yeah, that'll turn tail on that pretty quick.
Yeah, but the whole idea is that like, if voting was not impactful or important, nobody would be trying to take it away. You know, they'd be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and I say that a lot actually, to people. You know, like, obviously, like you said, voting's not everything. I tell people get involved locally, whatever. But it is worth mentioning, you know, like conservatives sure do a hell of a lot to keep us from being able to vote. So if you can feasibly vote, you should definitely do that, locally, nationally, whatever. You know, it does matter. It's very important. So, like I said, I'm just glad that Progressive Victory and people like you. I'm so sorry. What's your name again? I'm bad at names. Pixie.
It's
That's
okay.
right. Beautiful name.
I kind of just jumped in and didn't really, what is it? Yeah. So it's just some background, I guess. I am 24 years old. I was a content creator. Still kind of do it. I went on these red pill podcasts from hell and back where all these Andrew Tate wannabes were debating me and such.
Nice.
And then I got, yeah, it's brain damaging, honestly. Don't do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
It'll kill you. But
I'm sure.
yeah, so I did all of that, and then I went to a Progressive Victory event, and I was quite impressed. And I kind of realized, like, oh, like, there is an avenue for, like, real leftist unity and, like, real change as well. Because something I noticed for a very long time being in this space was just, everybody would talk, but very few people would do. And not because they didn't want to do, but because they just didn't know how to do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I felt like once I saw Progressive Victory giving people the opportunity to like actually do stuff, I was like, I want to help. I want to do more behind the scenes. I want to start organizing because I really do believe in this. And now I'm here.
That's awesome. I mean, good for you for getting involved and helping because, you know, not a lot of people can say that they did that. You know, you can sit online and like tweet at people and get mad and debate people in the comments and threads and whatever and, you know, just grumble and tippy tap at your keyboard. But ultimately, that's not going to make much of a difference. So people like you who do get involved and do the work are absolutely essential to the progressive movement. So thank you very much for all of your hard work.
Aw, but what is it? Thank you, because you're coming over. You're bringing your little audience. You're bringing yourself to this event to participate in that work too. And that's what, you know, that's what's so amazing about this space is that we cultivate connections and people who also care as much as we do behind the scenes to like come out and to work and to make changes. So really, it's the real thank you should come to you and your community for being willing to support this.
I'm just a funny internet man who got mixed up in some drama and got a bunch of subscribers from various places, you know. I never really expected to get over 10,000, but I am glad to bring who I can with me. You know, I'm very privileged to be able to do that. I do have at least one person in the chat who said that they signed up. So, guys, if you go to my site chat, oh yeah, I got to put it in the description of the YouTube video as well. But if you go to the site chat and you type exclamation capital P, capital V, you will be able to see my sign up link that I get special good boy points for, I assume. And sign up under my name and tell Progressive Victory that I sent you. So, and then you'll be able to meet me and get pictures with me. And I'll also be handing out stickers. You guys will get golden Alec Gunter stickers because I'm overstocked and I need to get rid of them. So they're yours if you come and get a picture with me. Pretty cool, I think.
That is pretty cool. I'm just like, I don't know. Do you ever get these moments where you're just like filled with like gratitude over the fact that you're like surrounded by people who want to make a difference and want to make a change?
Yes, I absolutely do feel gratitude for that. And also the link is not working for some reason. And sorry, the link, my link is working, but the command in my site was not working for some reason. So I went ahead and posted it. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, no, I absolutely get where you're coming from. Feeling like you're surrounded by people who are all working toward the same thing is very important. I went to the event in Ohio, which is my home state, last year, I think it was, over the winter. I know for sure. And canvassed a lot with, people that have, similar goals as me. And we talked and we debated a little bit about some things because there were some Destiny people there. And, we always got our little community and fighting and whatever. But at the end of the day, I actually do applaud Destiny, and I applaud anybody else who, organizes and activates their community to get involved and make a difference, because that's what Progressive Victory is all about doing, right?
Yeah, what is it? Just finding ways to make an impact, to make a change, and not making it as difficult as it usually is. Because I don't know, sometimes, at least in the past when I've tried to do like political organizing before, it just seems like there's so many bureaucratic steps in the way, right? It seems like I don't know if it's by design or not, where it's like, oh my God, where do you start? Like, how do you join in? How do you jump in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm really grateful for PB to make this like process almost as easy as possible, right? You sign up. If you don't have money to transport there, usually they have a carpooling, or they have methods to connect you. You attend, you go, and then you leave with wonderful memories and a little bit of a better impact on the earth.
Oh yeah, I know I did back when I did that canvassing event for PV way back when, like earlier this year or last year. I forget when exactly it was, sorry. But it was fun. It was really fun. And I know for a fact that if you need a hotel, you guys are covering it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys will get to, stay in a hotel completely free of charge. All you have to do is get there. So if you can get there, the driving is taken care of, the hotels are taken care of, and the food is taken care of. Is all that correct?
Yes. The food for lunch is definitely covered when we go canvassing and everything.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, like I said, like you said, Progressive Victory is making it absolutely as easy as possible. If you're near Yonkers, New York, definitely get involved. If you're not near Yonkers, New York, and you're able to travel that weekend, then plan a trip. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of content creators there. You're going to be able to meet some of your favorite people, including me. I'm going to be there, and you get pictures and stickers. So it'll be a great time.
What more can you want?
Yeah, absolutely. So Pixie, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not for now. That's basically the rundown, basically the situation. But yeah, just come join Progressive Victory. We're gonna have basically 2 days of some fun canvassing, some very fun content creators. Who knows who else we might see there, right? A lot of people love supporting Jamal Bowman, so that'll be exciting. And
one other thing, sorry. Jamal Bowman is running against, what's his name?
I forgot his name.
It's okay. Do you want to go ahead and look it up, or I can? It's up to you.
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm literally,
I also forgot his name. It's all good.
Latimer.
What is it?
Latimer.
That's right, Latimer. So Latimer, just real quick before we end this, I wanted to mention this, is an establishment dem, and an APAC is trying to replace Jamal Bowman with him. And they are dumping copious money into that, right? So, that's why Progressive Victory is so essential here, because we're mobilizing a grassroots movement in order to counter AIPAC and ensure that somebody who is not pro-Israel and willing to be a Zionist for money is holding office. So it's really, really important, guys.
Yeah, no, I feel like what is it? I guess, and this isn't maybe just me repeating myself too much, but I think it's so important to be able to get people into office who are like true to their values, right? Who aren't bought by outside interest, who are like actually representing themselves and the people in their district, and what's good and righteous versus like who's giving me the biggest paycheck,
Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
fuck, sorry for cursing. I'm just so tired
you're
of
fine.
our system being filled with these people. Like, I just want it to be done with. Let's get that corruption out.
Your cursing is definitely warranted.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Well, Pixie, you've been lovely. Unless there's anything else that you'd like to add before I let you go, I'll go ahead and let you go because I know you've been very busy. I know you probably got a lot of other things to be doing, so I don't want to take up any more of your time than I need to.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course, and thank you for coming on. I look forward to meeting you and everybody else in Yonkers, New York, the weekend of sorry, I always confuse April and June for some reason. The weekend of June 21st through 23rd, not April. We're not time traveling. June 21st to 23rd. We're going to be in Yonkers, New York. Be there. We're going to have a great time.
Okay, well, bye, Alec. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for having me on.
You as well, Pixie. You have a great day, and thanks so much for being on. Well, that was lovely. Alec is spamming. Well, yeah, I got to spam that good link. Spread the good word. It's super frustrating when moneyed interest controlled politics, and APAC is an extreme case of that. Absolutely. APAC is no bueno. Oh, shit, that was a good save. APAC is no bueno. And the guy that they're trying to put in is pretty gross. He compared what was happening with... Oh, shit. I can't remember the guy's name. Who was the guy in New York that got in big trouble? Matt Cuomo, right? Matt Cuomo? Is that his name? Or is it Chris Cuomo? One of the Cuomo brothers got in trouble. Andrew Cuomo. Jeez. Andrew Cuomo got in big trouble with sexual abuse scandal. And the primary opponent, who I already forget, basically compared that to the man, I'm so bad at names today. He compared that to the death of a black kid who was murdered, like in cold blood. It was really, really gross, and people called him out for it, and he deleted the tweet. But I remember watching the Majority Report just yesterday, and they pulled up a phone call where a black woman called in, and she was like, I'm a black woman, and I need you to answer for this tweet, and I don't need you to say, like, you know, you have black friends. I don't need any of that. What I need you to do is explain to me what you are going to do for me, a black woman, in as opposed to Jamal Bowman. You know, like, and she was going off on him. I cannot faithfully recreate her call. But she brought up that tweet, and it was just so gross, man. It's so gross to compare a fucking sexual assault allegation to the death of a black child who was murdered in cold blood, like, for racist reasons. It's disgusting. So, yeah. And then, of course, his response was, I have black friends. So, that was cool. Riverboat Jack covered that yesterday. Maybe we should cover it. Maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. I want to finish up this game. It's fun. Ooh, I keep getting these epic saves, man. Oh, shit! Ah! I'm fine. God damn it. I can't believe I let him juke me like that. That's what I get. Instant karma for bragging on my saves. Rocket League looks pretty fun. It's completely free. I will say there is a pretty steep learning curve. It takes a lot of practice to get any... Oh, shit! Let's go! Brought it back, baby. Brought it back. I brought it back. I was going to say let him jerk me. Let's go. Let's go. Keep it up. I'm invested now. Okay. I can do it. Why is me mum calling? My mum's calling. Not now, mummy. Oh, shit. Not now, Mom. I'm playing Rocket League. Well, shit. Well, that's GG. Okay. That's okay. I'll call her back later. Overtime is single goal wins? Yes. Alright, that's good. Alright, that was a good call. That was a good call. Thank you everybody who stuck around for that. I know that it's I know that views drop whenever I do stuff like that. I get it. It's not a react. It's fine. But it is nice to see people stick around for it. Also, my newest video isn't doing too hot. Because it's about Jamal Bowman. But it's worth it. We're recruiting some people. So it's worth it. Alright, I think I owe you guys a God video. So you guys may remember a fellow known as Redeemed Zoomer. He was somebody who made a video response to every atheist question. Every atheist argument, I should say. It was obviously extraordinarily well done, of course. He completely converted me. No, of course that's not true. They were garbage arguments, so at least most of them were. And he has another video that he just released a day ago. It's called How to Deal with Doubts. And from the thumbnail, it appears as though, you can see the thumbnail right here a little bit. It appears as though it's about doubting your faith. And I just want to see what he has to say about it. So let's give him a chance. Now, I've been doubting my faith for a long time, ever since high school. And since then, I've evolved into an agnostic atheist. I just, for those who aren't aware, I don't know what's out there, but I'm leaning toward probably nothing. As far as like spirituality goes, I just don't think that God's there. I don't think any God's there. I just think that we die, and then who knows what happens after that. I think there might be some kind of collective consciousness soup that we go back into. Who really knows? Who's to say? But I ultimately don't really care that much either. And I think that religious institutions are mostly harmful and stupid and don't really accomplish much, besides like getting children hurt mostly. And adults as well, but children primarily, the ones who get groomed into it and then assaulted. So, especially by the Catholic Church, who loves to do that. So let's take a look at what Redeemed Zoomer has to say about how to deal with all of these doubts. What's up, Redeemed Zoomer?
If Sunday school teachers tell kids to not ask questions, they shouldn't be surprised when those kids grow up to be atheists.
True. I agree.
Hey guys, welcome back to Kingdom Craft, where we build churches in Minecraft while talking about Christianity. Right now I'm still working...
By the way, I want to preface this real quick by saying, my dad always told me, like, well, son, you can question Christianity, but once you... you always have to come back to your faith. And it's like, well, then you're not questioning it. If you always have to come back to it, if there's, like, penalty for saying, no, actually, Christianity is wrong... then you don't care if I question it or not. You just want to make sure that I still believe in it. Like, prove it to me. You know what I mean? Make a case. Personally, don't think there is any God, but I'm open to the possibility she might just be really inattentive and hasn't looked at her phone for a few thousand years. Yeah, but, like, that's boring. I've been watching a lot of Actual Jake lately, and I've been picking up a few of his mannerisms, like saying the word precious. And I think that he made a great argument when he said it's boring. God is boring. There's so much more to life than God. There's, like the mysteries of the universe are so just like, let's put it this way. The odds of you being alive as the person that you are is unquantifiable. Like it's infinitesimally small. Like you should not exist as the person that you are, but you do somehow. And that's crazy. That's awesome. And it's like, what's the answer? Oh, God put you there. Who cares? Who gives a shit? God's boring.
working on my little jungle exile settlement, and I'm going to be talking about Christians who have doubts about the faith. This was me at one time.
Well, that was me.
Generally, I'm talking about people who...
That was also me at one time. Now I'm an atheist.
Who want to be good Christians, who kind of want Christianity to be true, but are having more intellectual doubts about whether it's true.
I'm basically... alt universe redeemed Zoomer. I'm the good universe of redeemed Zoomer.
So I'm not really addressing people who actually want to leave Christianity. I'm talking about people who want to be good Christians but have trouble being convinced that it's actually true. So let me tell you guys a story. So I didn't grow up being like religious at all. I was pretty anti-religious. I thought religion was kind of anti-scientific because I've always had a more intellectual way of thinking about things. When I say I'm intellectual, it doesn't mean I'm smart. It just means I'm more intellectual than emotional with how I think through things.
Oh, okay. I see what it means. Okay, fair enough.
My biggest barrier to Christianity growing up...
But to be fair, I think most people would say, yeah, I think about things intellectually. You know what I mean? I think that most people would say that. So, to be fair, I think that's important to point out. But
was the idea that it was anti-scientific. And once I met a lot of Christians in real life and saw how smart a lot of the Christians I met were, that really changed it for me. And there were a lot of other reasons I became Christian. I was also moved by how kind and loving the Christians I met were. And by the way, right now I'm building a farm for the food that I'm going to eat around here. But, yeah.
Kind and loving how, though? Like, what did they actually do for you, you know? Like, it's one thing to be polite. It's one thing to be nice. You know, anybody can just be nice. Matt Walsh is nice to people. You know, like, it's fine to be nice, but being kind is different. Being kind comes from your soul, okay? It comes from inside, well, as far as the soul exists. It comes from inside your mind, you know what I mean? So, since we're speaking Christianity versus atheism, it comes from inside. So... I think that, you know, I think that this is going to be one of those things where it's like, well, Christians were nice to me, therefore now I'm Christian. You know, like, okay, atheists are nice to me. What, does that hold ground for me being atheist now? Like, that's a stupid argument, even for an atheist.
For the first year of me being Christian, I didn't think that much about intellectual challenges to the Christian faith. I was just excited to be a Christian. I was just on a conversion high. Because when you go from being not...
So what you're telling me is you put absolutely zero thought into why you're being a Christian except people were nice to you. There you go. There you go. People were nice to me. But apparently he questioned it later on, so let's give him a chance here.
Christian to Christian, when you have a dramatic born-again experience like I did, it's very exciting. Now, not everyone has dramatic born-again experiences. For example, my fiancé has...
That's how cults indoctrinate people.
Always been a Christian ever since she was baptized as a baby, which is what you're supposed to do, by the way. She's always been a Christian. She, unlike me...
What do you mean supposed to do? Like, if you weren't raised Christian and then you get baptized as an adult, is that somehow worse? Like... I know, unless he's saying that Christians are supposed to baptize their babies, which is true within their religion, I guess. I don't know. I'll be charitable and say that that's what he meant.
There's never a time she remembers when she was not a Christian.
It really does seem to be about the aesthetic.
Born-again experiences. Also, some people convert to Christianity, but it's more of a gradual process, and they can't point to...
Also, I'm curious about which version of Christianity he's referring to. I think he may have said that he's a Catholic at one point, but that's important because every branch of Christianity is a little different.
Any one moment where they converted, and that's fine. Those people shouldn't be made to feel like they're not true Christians because they didn't have some dramatic conversion. But I did have one of these dramatic conversions. So it was really exciting for me at first being Christian. But after the excitement wore off, I began to question, is this stuff actually true? And I was going through some discouraging times in my life. You know, my PCUSA church, our pastor just retired, and he was being replaced by these temporary pastors, these old ladies who didn't seem to really care about the faith that much. Because, you know, that's when I started to learn my denomination has a bit of a theological liberalism problem. So I was feeling very discouraged. I began to ask myself, how do I know all this is actually true? And my doubts just came on suddenly like a storm. It was like one day I wasn't having any doubts about the faith. The next day I was like swamped in them. And I think that's most...
That's good. That's your brain trying to save you, man. That's your brain trying to save you from itself. Okay? That's your brain saying, you know what? Maybe this was not the most logical step to take. Maybe people being nice to me is not grounds for completely changing everything that I believe in. I'm thinking that might be the case.
Existentially terrified I've ever been. Like, I've been scared of a lot of things throughout my life. My biggest fear, by the way, is actually getting the stomach virus. But the most existential dread I ever felt was that feeling that, what if this is not real? I thought to myself...
I mean, getting a stomach virus sucks. He must have had a terrible experience with the stomach virus, though, if, like, that's his biggest fear. Like, Jesus.
Everything I could potentially lose,
what's with the music?
I could live with. But I cannot live without God. That's what I thought to myself. So I was like...
You're supposed to be indoctrinated from a young age. Personally, I just think it's such a big choice shouldn't be made before a kid is old enough to make that decision themselves. You know, you have to be 25 for your brain to be fully developed. I agree. You know, like, they want to say, like, oh, well, you know, you can't really know you're trans until you're an adult. Well, what about being Christian? You know, like, you're very much indoctrinated into that. You don't really have the capacity to question anything. You're just told, well, if you're not a good Christian, you'll go to hell. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to go to hell. That sounds bad, so I'll be a Christian.
I
need
to somehow find out that this
before
whole
you have any
Christianity
critical
thing
thinking
is true. So I was really panicked, and it was a...
Please, wait, please. Don't tell me that God came to him in, like, a dream. That'd be amazing. Please.
Rough few weeks when I started to wrestle with doubts, especially because I did not know which resources to turn to. I didn't know about Christian apologetics. I didn't know much theology at all. I barely ever read the Bible. So all I had was, like, Google searching proof that God is real, which obviously isn't going to give you many substantive results.
I'm kind of curious now. Proof that God is real. Got the AI overview, which I'm not looking at. Love worth finding. Is God real? Proof of God's existence. It's the first fucking result. Which is terrible, by the way. We got answers in Genesis. Can we prove God without the Bible? Grad resources. Evidence for God's existence. Scientific American. Can God be proven mathematically? Now, this one I'm interested in. Some mathematicians have sought a logical proof for the existence of God. Here's what they discovered. Who would have thought about God as an apt topic for an essay about mathematics? Certainly not anybody reasonable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I actually care to read this. Can we mathematically prove God? What is this? This is God, everybody. Here's the mathematical proof. I'm assuming that G is the God variable. Jesus Christ. Oh boy. What a bunch of nerds. Not interested.
And I listened to, like, whatever authorities I could find. I was getting into, like, conservative politics at that time. I'd been, you know, a progressive leftist most of my life, but at that time I had just started being more conservative. So I listened to people like Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro, hoping they could give me some reasons to believe God exists.
What's funny is, before my full descent into leftism, I found a PragerU video and was, like, this close to being convinced by it. But there was still something about it, because it was about being a man, right? Like, what makes a real man? Because I was trying to kind of find a purpose. I was living in my parents' basement, and like, I was trying to find a purpose, you know? I was getting my nursing degree while I was doing that, by the way. But I found this video. I saw it, and I'm like, well, that looks interesting. But, like, something about Dennis Prager just did not, and it was him in the video. It just did not, like, sit right with me. You know, I was like, this doesn't seem right. Something about this is kind of off. Like, I don't know how true this is. And then later, of course, I learned that PragerU is what it is, which is a right-leaning propaganda machine. But if I had just been a little bit more vulnerable, I could have gone down an alt-right pipeline just from that video showing up randomly on my feed when I really didn't have that much interest in politics at the time. So that's how they get you, you know? Him, Dennis Prager, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Matt Walsh, all those guys. Not as much Matt Walsh, probably. He's probably more of a end stage conservative piece of shit that you would watch. Not much for bringing people in, but Ben Shapiro was very good at it. So was Jordan Peterson. And now they show PragerU in schools. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you didn't fall for it in the end. I used to be a conservative, and then I started leaning liberal in high school. And so I saw that video, and I was like, this is kind of conservative coded. Not sure if I like this. But I wasn't completely off board with it yet. So, you know.
Obviously, they did not give me the best information. They're not even Christian, they're Jewish. But At the end of the day, my
Shots
doubts
fired.
actually ended up helping me, because it was my doubts that inspired me to look for answers about the faith, and
Not
that's
wrong,
what inspired me to start studying theology. Right now, I'm known as that theology YouTuber, the YouTuber who always talks about nerdy theology.
He's known as the theology YouTuber, certainly not the YouTuber who made that one video where he makes terrible arguments against atheists that all the atheists proceeded to absolutely demolish, and he never replied. Like, I don't think he ever responded to any of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see his response to people's responses, you know? But I don't think he ever addressed any responses.
Theological concepts like supralapsarianism. But I had actually never read the Bible for like the first year of being Christian, nor had I read any theological works. I would think to myself about, you know, God and Christianity, but I was prideful. I thought I could figure it out all by myself. Once I had these doubts, I realized I couldn't do that. And that's what drove me to begin studying theology. So for about 6 months, I didn't go to the best places to learn theology, but eventually I found Reformed theology through Tim Keller, because I was Presbyterian. I knew
Who's
he
Tim
was a
Keller? I've heard of Tim Keller. Timothy Keller, American pastor. TimothyKeller.com. Redeemer Presbyterian Church. Trusting in the sure and certain hope of the resurrection. Great. Let's look at, I'll bet he's got videos. Let's try Tim Keller compilation. Top 10 least known Tim Keller sermon jams. Tim Keller sermons. Here, we'll just try a random one. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's do this. Give it to me.
The lurking suspicion that all of our getting and spending amounts to fidgeting while we wait for death. We must imagine some end to life that transcends our own tiny allotment of days and hours if we are to keep at bay the dim back of the mind suspicion that we are adrift in an absurd world.
I disagree entirely. What? Life, the purpose of life is what you make it. You don't have to be like doomer about your death just because you're not Christian. It speaks volumes about where these people are at mentally, by the way. They're all so mentally ill. Like they just ruminate over death.
Every culture, he says, has got to give people hope, or else they do just sink into absurdity. Because what we think about the future, what our future is completely determines how we experience the present.
Well, with the flowers and the music, I can definitely see why people would watch this video and be like converted by him or whatever. But to be fair, it's only 1.1k views. All right, we got an idea of who he is.
Presbyterian pastor as well. Tim Keller was my introduction to theology, and his sermons on the Bible were just so good that inspired me to read all of the Bible myself, which the following year I did. And once I started...
I wonder if he read the passage about selling your daughter into sex slavery.
The more I started studying theology, the less doubts that I had. So I guess my first piece of advice for anyone who's struggling with doubts...
Wait, that doesn't explain anything. What did you specifically study that gave you fewer doubts? Like, what is it? I was actually interested in how he dealt with his doubts, and he just is like, well, I just studied a little bit, and then it was all good. And it's like, well, that doesn't explain anything. What did you study? What specifically made you turn away from your doubts? What were your doubts even? I don't even know what his doubts were. Like, he's saying he didn't actually believe in God, or like, you know, like, what were his doubts? I don't get it.
Is that your doubts are not necessarily a bad thing, and God can and will actually use them as a very good thing sometimes if it inspires you to study the faith. As St. Anselm is one of my favorite Christian theologians outside the Bible. I'd say Anselm is probably like my fourth favorite saint. And his famous quote is that theology is faith-seeking understanding. So when we have doubts about the faith, that drives us.
Faith cannot seek understanding, because if you have faith in something, that is, in the way that Christians use it at least, that essentially means that you trust without having any reason to. If I put my faith in somebody, like let's say that I find a random, here's a good example. I'm waiting in line at the gas station, right? Line's really long. Let's say that I got to run to the bathroom. I have faith that the person behind me is going to hold my spot. Okay? I have no reason to believe they will. They could just as easily say, well, I'm not holding your spot. Okay? I could come back and they could say, you got to go to the back of the line. And I'm not about to start a fight, so I would just go to the back of the line. But I have faith, you know, that that person is going to hold my spot. Right? They might not. But that's a very small thing to put faith in. And so even though I have no reason to really trust this person beyond, like, you know, common decency, which I guess you could argue is a reason, but I really have no real reason to trust this person. And yet I am. And that's faith. Okay? In Christianity, faith is trusting God for absolutely no reason. And yet they'll always try to make up some kind of bullshit reason. Like, God did this for me or God did that for me. It's like, God didn't do those things for you. Those things either you did for yourself, somebody else did for you, or happened as a matter of happenstance. Okay? The faith element is God doesn't have to do anything for you or promise anything. You just believe in God, and that's it.
To seek to understand the faith better. So that's why we say theology is faith-seeking understanding. So usually it's that existential anxiety, it's that doubt that actually motivates us to go closer to God. So I would say, if you have doubts, don't be afraid of your doubts. Just trust in God, and trust that if you trust in God, God will use your doubts towards something productive.
But if you're already doubting God, why would you put your trust in God? Oh, just put faith in him and he'll bring it back. This isn't encouraging people to question anything. This isn't encouraging people to think rationally and logically. This is just, oh, if you question things, well, don't. Just don't. Have you ever thought about just don't, maybe? You know, like, I'm just saying, like, just don't, maybe. Just throwing that out there.
And at the time, while this was happening, I didn't know that anything productive would come of my doubts until some of my friends started asking me questions about the faith. And I realized I was able to answer their questions because I had gone through this period of doubt. I would love to know the answers. And I had experienced the same questions they were experiencing.
Give me an example.
I noticed I was able to help out a lot of my friends with their struggles with faith. I thought to myself, what if I made a YouTube channel out of this? Now, there are other problems people have when they start doubting the faith. And a big one is they feel like they're not being a good Christian. They feel like they're not saved or whatever, especially people who grew up in, like, legalistic Baptists.
If you question God, you're not saved. That is, like, canon in Christianity. If you question God's existence, or you have any doubts at all, or you think that, like, you know, maybe he does, like, if you think that there's, like, evidence that maybe could explain things in a way that doesn't involve God, then you're not saved. You have to believe in God. That is part of your faith.
Circles, not all Baptists are like this, but there's some legalistic Baptist circles where any sort of intellectual doubt is seen as not just sin, but seen as evidence that you're not really saved.
Yes,
because I have two friends. I mean, I have way more than two friends. No. There are two people I know who are friends that have different stories. I think they're an interesting case study. One of them is perfectly convinced of the supernatural. Perfectly convinced of God and the supernatural.
Convinced
and
how?
He
Through
never
what
goes
evidence?
to church, and he identifies as Christian, but clearly does not care about it at all. I've tried to bring him to church. He just never gets around to it, just does not care. But he's perfectly convinced of God and the supernatural. He has seen, like, spirits appearing in his room. He has no doubt that...
Did he get him on fucking video? I'd like to see a video of these spirits that he's seen. Oh no, it's impossible. They don't show up on video. Sorry, man. This just... I think your friend might need some help, man. I think you got to send him to an institution.
God exists. So it's not an issue of the intellect for him, it's an issue of the will. But he just doesn't care. Whereas I have another friend who really wants to be a Christian. His faith means everything to him. His faith gives him more joy than...
That's so lame. Imagine wanting to be a Christian. Ugh. God. Even when I was a Christian, I didn't want to be a Christian. I was always like, this shit sucks, but I gotta do it, I guess. You know? Oh, I guess I have to say 50 Hail Marys tonight before I go to bed. I guess I gotta add that to my routine. Oh, shit. I can't do this thing that I really wanted to do Sunday because I have church. I didn't even want to be a Christian while I was a Christian. Who the fuck wants to be a Christian? Even they don't want to be Christians.
Anything else. But he's a very scientific guy. He's a biology major, and he's just not
intellect is when you see spirits,
certain that God exists, and he wants to believe in God.
Ooh, but biology major is perfect because you learn about like the certainty of evolution and how certain scientists are that evolution is a fact and not like just this. It is a theory, but in science, a theory is the highest level of evidence you can possibly have. So evolution is a theory in science, meaning it is real. It exists for all intents and purposes. Nothing has disproven it, and nothing seemingly can disprove it. So it's real. So biology major, coming from a biology major, mind you, is perfect for getting you out of that rut.
Oftentimes he has doubts and he goes through dark times where he feels like atheism might be correct. But he still really wants Christianity to be true. And he's the one who got baptized.
But that's what the cult does. It grabs you and does not let you go. Because the entirety of your life, you've been thinking, well, I need to believe in God or else I won't be saved, right? And so you just do. You just believe in God. And then you start having questions and you start doubting and you start doing this and that. And you're like, oh, God, I can't question it. Because if I question it, I might come to the conclusion that God's not real. And if I come to the conclusion that God's not real, I'll be one of those heathen atheists that I always learned are bad and will go to hell. And I can't have that. And that's how they get you. That's how they get you stuck in a disgusting loop. You know? What's up, Jazz Dog? Hope you like your new color.
With me a couple years ago. So which of these two people do you think is being a more faithful Christian? I would say it's the second one, my friend who has intellectual doubts about the faith, but still really wants it to be true. So theologians, especially scholastic theologians, talk about the difference between the intellect and the will. So for friend number one, his intellect believes in God, but his will doesn't really want to submit to God, whereas friend
No, his intellect is... I think he has that backwards. His intellect is telling him that God's not real. But his will is telling him, no, you must remain faithful to God. Now, that's a salient argument. I think that's what his friend's going through. Right? Because he wants to be a Christian. That's his will. He wants to be a Christian. He wants to believe in God, but he's having doubts and questions about it. So I think this guy's got it backwards.
Number two of mine, his will... really does want to submit to God. He's always wants to go to church and stuff. His intellect isn't fully convinced of God right yet, but if he could find evidence, proof that God exists, I'm sure he would. So now let's get into some actual...
I agree. If I could find proof that God exists, then I would believe in God. But I have no proof.
Resources for mitigating doubts. So I'm not here to address every single possible intellectual doubt about the faith, because there's no way I could do that in 20 minutes. There's one time I tried to address every atheist argument in 20 minutes, and if you guys know how that went, you know that probably wasn't the best decision I ever made.
Oh shit! Even he acknowledges it. You know what? I can respect that. I respect a man who understands that video, like a past video of his, was not the best content. Okay. I'll give him that one.
But I can point you guys to some good resources. So for me, like I said, Tim Keller was very, very helpful. He was my introduction to theology. His book, Reason for God, is amazing. If you guys don't want to buy it, he has like just lectures about it.
Reason for God. Oh, my bad. Tim Keller, Reason for God. The Reason for God. Why does God allow suffering in the world? How could a loving God send people to hell? Why isn't Christianity more inclusive? How can one religion be right and the other's wrong? Why have so many wars been fought in the name of God? These are all very good questions. These are just a few of the questions and doubts even ardent believers wrestle with today. As the founding pastor of Redeemer Presbyterian Church in New York City, Timothy Keller has compiled a list of the most frequently voiced doubts skeptics bring to his church, as well as the most important reasons for faith. In the New York Times bestselling The Reason for God, he addresses each doubt and explains each reason. Keller uses literature, philosophy, real-life conversations, and reasoning to explain how faith in a Christian God is a soundly rational belief, held by thoughtful people of intellectual integrity with a deep compassion for those who truly want to know the truth. Excellent. Here, let's stay his little...
Let me tell you a little bit about the book. I wrote the book for two kinds of people.
Okay.
Primarily, I wrote the book for people with doubts about Christianity. I've talked to literally thousands of people in New York City over the years, and I found that as I talk to people, so many of the doubts are passionate, they're well thought out, and they deserve respect.
Okay.
And therefore, I wrote this book to respectfully engage.
No way evolution is just a theory. When we say just a theory, that's layman's terms for I don't know for sure. Okay. But in science, a theory is the highest level of evidence that you can possibly have for something. It's like the theory of gravity, okay? Nobody questions that gravity exists in some form or another. We are pulled toward the ground, okay? Gravity exists. Therefore, you know, like we have evidence for it. We have so much evidence for it, in fact, that it would be nigh impossible to disprove gravity. So that's why we call it a theory. The theory of gravity. Just like the theory of evolution and the theory of climate change, really.
Engage those doubts. The book has two basic messages to people who doubt. The first message is all of your problems and doubts about Christianity are actually based on beliefs, alternate beliefs about spiritual reality, about God, about human nature. To really have integrity, you need to apply the same test to your beliefs that you are applying and demanding that Christians apply to theirs. The second basic same test to your beliefs that you are applying and about human nature. To really have integrity, you need to apply the same test to your beliefs that you are applying and demanding that Christians apply to theirs.
Okay. My belief that, so when I say to a Christian, well, why, if God is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-loving, why do bad things happen, right? You know, like, what is your explanation for God allowing bad things to happen, like babies dying of cancer? You know, like, that happens. So if God is either not all-loving, not all-knowing, or not all-powerful, or some combination of those three, okay? And if that's the case, then why should I even worship him? So applying that to an atheist, you say, why does suffering exist, right? Or you could even ask, why does God allow suffering to exist? And an atheist's response would be, because there is no God, okay? Or at the very least, God is not all-loving or all-knowing or all-powerful. At the very least, if he does exist. So we have answers for these questions that we ask of religious people. And sometimes our answer is, I don't know. You know, we don't have to know everything. The burden of proof is not on us, for instance, like why things exist. Why do things exist? We don't know. We don't have an answer for that. The Big Bang happened and then things exist. Time exists, okay? We have evidence for the Big Bang. That is also a theory. You can literally look out into the universe and observe the Big Bang. And that's the evidence for that scientists have. Okay, before that, we don't know if there even is a before that, if it makes sense to ask that. I'm getting all this from actual Jake, by the way. I want to make sure credit where credit's due. I've been watching a lot of his videos. So that would be my answer. That I don't know. Like, but the idea of things coming from nothing is just as salient as God coming from nothing, because God had to have come from somewhere. But everybody says he's the uncaused causer. Like all the Christians say that, the uncaused causer. But why? He just operates on a different level of rules than we do? Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You just made that shit up. So we're back to square one.
The second basic message of the book is that when you look at Christianity positively, when you look at its teachings and what it actually asserts, it makes more sense of the life we see around us than anything else. The second group of people that I'm writing the book for, though, are Christians who already believe, but who have a lot of people that they care for and really love, but don't understand their faith, maybe aren't persuaded by their faith. And if you want to share your...
He wrote it so that you can evangelize. He wrote it for people who want to evangelize their friends and, you know, indoctrinate them. He wrote this book to help people indoctrinate others into the faith. So that's cool.
With a very articulate person that you care for, but who has real doubts, I think this book will help.
Cool. Sounds like a terrible book. Anyway, back to the original video.
Which cover a lot of the content, but the book itself is really good. It's like, that is the first book I recommend to beginners to Christianity because of how helpful it was for me as a teenager. There's a lot of specific things, like
I'm half tempted to get it and read it on stream, not gonna lie. But I feel like book readings don't really do that well on stream. I don't know.
These are things that you'll encounter on Reddit, like someone saying, oh, did you know the story of Jesus was copied from the story of Horus and Dionysus or whatever? Now, actual atheist
Probably
scholars
true.
like Bart Ehrman know that this is ridiculous, and no serious...
Was the story of Jesus copied? Ask history. If these comments have sources, then I'm willing to read them. I'd rather have like a verifiable source. Reasonable Theology. Geeks Under Grace. There's no like verifiable sources here. I think the best one I've seen is Reasonable Theology. Let's check. Is it a retelling of pagan myths? Jesus myth allegations. Are these alleged parallels to pagan gods historically accurate? If they were, what difference would it make? I don't know. I can't find an answer. Unless you consider emerging fully grown out of a rock, being born of a virgin, this god already has one strike against being similar to Jesus. What? Wait, born of a virgin. That is similar to Jesus. So that's a strike against you because that's born of a virgin. Dionysus doesn't fare much better. Out of an affair between Zeus and a mortal woman. After Zeus' wife Hera found out, she tricked the mortal into demanding that Zeus reveal himself in all his glory. He was, however, able to rescue Dionysus and sewed him or his heart into his thigh until he was born. This is the claim for his rebirth, a far cry from the death and... I mean, I don't know. I truly, honestly... don't. You know what? Hey, Katie. Come here for a second, if you can. Yes. Do you know if the story of Jesus Christ was copied from, like, Osiris, Dionysus, Horus?
I mean... There is significant evidence of resurrections and kind of like promised comings. That's been around in storytelling since like oral tradition, which is thousands of years old before the written word of anything. So I could say as someone who does believe in a higher power, and I've said it before, me and Jesus, we're cool. It's me and God that got the problem. I'm very much a believer that all religions have something of the truth of the universe in terms of divinity or celestial beings or whatever. I believe that every religion has a valid point to make, and a lot of those valid points are about kindness and caring for your fellow people. I believe that the organization is the problem.
Right.
But so it's not to say that the story of Jesus Christ couldn't have been copied. It's just to say that all of these motifs we see so often that it would be impossible to say that the story of Jesus Christ was not influenced by those in some way. Okay. We know that Yeshua ben Joseph, which was his name, his Jewish name, we know that he existed because he's recorded in censuses that we have, from where we can kind of guess was the time.
Jesus?
Yeah.
I've heard that he doesn't. But
oh, no? Oh, I thought. Well,
I've heard
we have evidence that he was a real person who probably existed in you know, the Valley of Judea in what is now modern day Palestine.
Okay.
We have evidence that you know, he might have been influential in some way.
But his story was probably like prettied up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
And probably drew influence from these guys.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah.
So
these tropes have been around for fucking ever.
Yeah, if nothing else, it definitely drew influence from other stories. We'll go with that. Oh shit!
If Sunday school,
God damn it,
what is the first book I recommend to beginners to Christianity because of how helpful it was for me as a teenager. There's a lot of specific things, like mostly these are things that you'll encounter on Reddit, like someone saying, oh, did you know the story of Jesus was copied from the story of Horus and Dionysus or whatever?
It's more commonly accepted than refuted that he existed. Okay, I don't know. I truly don't know.
Now, actual atheist scholars like Bart Ehrman know that this is ridiculous, and no serious atheist will say that. Like Alex O'Connor, in his reaction to my video, admits that those Jesus mythicism stories are complete bogus. But a lot of times, young Christians going on Reddit, they don't know that, so they actually feel threatened when they hear things like that. So Inspiring Philosophy has a lot of videos addressing in detail every historical or scholarly objection to the faith. He defends the existence of, Moses and Abraham. He defends the actual legitimate authorship of the Gospels, all those specific doubts. So if you have
my thing is, even if you don't think that even if you think that Jesus was real, you still have to give me a reason to care. I don't think that Jesus, there's no evidence that Jesus actually died and was resurrected. There's no evidence for that. There's no evidence that that's possible. There's no evidence that that happened. Nothing. Okay? There's no evidence that he was able to perform miracles. None. We don't have historical documented evidence of Jesus Christ having performed miracles. We don't have it. Zero, none at all. So until I see that, I simply have no reason to care whether or not Jesus was a real person. I think Jesus was a magician who did illusions. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Well, from what I've heard, there are several accounts of people claiming to be an incarnation of God that performed what they called miracles, and that would be what I think is probably a magician, if I had to guess. So that's just me. But like I said, there's zero evidence that there was a Jesus Christ who performed miracles. None.
Philosophical, existential doubts about the faith, I would recommend Tim Keller. If you have just detailed historical doubts about the faith, I would recommend Michael Jones from Inspiring Philosophy. And there's different arguments for God's existence, like if you favor a more evidential argument.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Careful. Delicious. I got it. Okay. I'll probably end stream after this.
It's really hot. Just be careful.
Okay, thank you.
You might want to read a lot of scholastic theologians based on that, like Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas, not just his Summa Theologica, but Summa Contra Gentiles, I think is the most clear exposition of his argument for God, which, I can't find any flaws with it. My only complaint is that it kind of presupposes Aristotelian metaphysics. If you want a more transcendental argument for God, I might recommend J. Dyer, or
I can imagine I've risen from the dead and being like, oh, cool, I'm racist now. Well. Okay, I got you, Jazz Dog.
There's other people who articulate it, but he does it most clearly. But now I'll address some of the existential concerns about doubt, because at the end of the day,
I'm more interested
you need to go beyond what you can be intellectually certain of. I don't think we can be 100%.
Why do you have to go beyond that? Why? That doesn't make any sense at all. You have to give me a good reason for wanting to go beyond that, whatever that means.
Intellectually certain about Christianity. I do believe that using mathematics, you can be 100% intellectually certain about God, and I am 100%.
Oh, I would love to see that. I highly, highly doubt that. I mean, we saw that thing earlier about the mathematical whatever, but I don't think that that's been proven.
Intellectually certain that God exists, but specifically Christianity. There is a leap of faith, and faith doesn't contradict reason or evidence. Faith simply goes beyond evidence. For example,
we might have a mathematical proof that something beyond our current understanding of existence happened, obviously, right? We might have some kind of proof that, there's, things that we don't understand, that there were processes that we can't fully comprehend that happened that brought us into existence. But evidence for the Christian God, I think not. Certainly not mathematical evidence. That's very silly.
You know, you can't scientifically prove that your wife loves you.
I've already addressed this argument in my previous video, which I watched recently, actually. I can scientifically prove that Katie loves me, because scientifically speaking, you need evidence, okay? And if I gather, and I can't get inside of Katie's head, obviously, but if I gather enough evidence that, you know, Katie does these things for me and I do things for Katie and we have this relationship going on, we call that love. So you would have to define love in a specific way, but you could make a plausible assertion that Katie loves me based on various factors, okay? Like things she says about me, things she does for me, etc. So in that way, you can sort of scientifically prove that.
You could be like 99% sure, but if you tried to like do a brain scan of her to prove that, she would get kind of annoyed at you because she would feel like you're not being faithful to her, that you don't actually trust her. So there is like an
Hold on.
Sure, but if you tried to like do a brain scan of her to prove that, she would get kind of annoyed at you because she would feel like you're not being faithful to her, that you don't actually trust her.
Well, yeah, because I trust that Katie loves me based on all of the things that Katie has said and done for me, okay? That's why I trust her. I don't need a brain scan on her. That'd be silly. Like if now it could be, it's very possible that Katie is tricking me, I guess, but I highly, highly doubt that. And I doubt that to such an extent that, you know, I don't need a brain scan on her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to discount the possibility, but at the same time, the evidence aligns more. It's Occam's razor, right? The more likely solution is the one that is the simplest. And the simplest one is that she loves me. That's why she does all the things she does for me. She's not trying to get something out of me or whatever. Like, she's not tricking me. She loves me.
So there is like an existential aspect.
This whole time I thought you were playing Minecraft. It is a little confusing.
Of it. And me being in high school, struggling with all these doubts, it was a very existential time for me. Because all the voices all around me in my leftist, progressive, atheist high school, all the voices around me, I'm not talking about like voices in my head, like, you know, people around me were telling me to not be Christian. And
cool.
There was pressure throughout the culture to just, you know, do drugs, sleep around, and not really save yourself for marriage like I was trying to do. Not, people were telling me, oh, don't wait to date a Christian girl. You should just date whatever, you know, Jewish or atheist.
If you commit yourself sexually to somebody for the rest of your life without even knowing what they're like in bed, you're stupid. That's called being stupid, man. Okay? Sorry.
This girl you can find, because you're probably not going to find anyone otherwise. So for me to not only intellectually believe the Christian faith, but for me to actually follow Christian morals when the world was pressuring me not to, that was a tough existential decision for me. And Kierkegaard is very helpful for this, you know, Christian existentialism, because he says, you know, yes, it is good that we have evidence of the Christian faith. For example, there's a lot of evidence that the resurrection of Jesus is a historical fact. I believe
I would love to see it. I don't think that we have that evidence.
It is a historical fact. I think you can use history to prove the resurrection.
And also, if you have faith, you don't need evidence, by the way. Okay? You'll go to hell for that one.
But what Karl Barth and Dietrich Bonhoeffer would say is that you should still be a Christian, even if hypothetically you lived in a world where the evidence did not point towards Christianity. And for a while, I did live in that world. I did live in a world where
you should still be a Christian, even if there's zero evidence for it. Exactly.
Evidence that was available to me didn't exactly point to Christianity. Why? Well, because I grew up in a leftist public school that taught me a lot of lies, but at that time, I didn't know it was lies.
Lies like what?
So I grew up in a school that taught me Christianity has always been like the bad guys' religion throughout all of history. I was under the impression that Christianity had done far more harm than...
It's not just Christianity that was the bad guys. It was like basically every religion ever that was a bad guy at some point in some significant capacity that is a result of their religiosity. Even Buddhism. Like, I used to think that Buddhism was like the one religion that never had any issues. They have huge fucking issues.
Than good throughout history.
It's just different from those of Christianity.
The school would milk things like the Crusades and give a lot of historical inaccuracies about the Crusades and really focus on the bad things the church did and never mention any of the many, many good things the church did.
Such as?
So I was living under the impression that Christianity was anti-science, that the church tortured Galileo for doing science, that Christianity has been the violent white man's colonizer religion. I was living under that impression, and I still had faith in Christianity because of the beauty that I saw in it.
Wait, the what oppression? I was living under that impression.
And I still had faith in Christianity because of the beauty that I saw in it, even though a lot of the evidence I was presented with was against it. And I'm not saying I'm this sort of, Christian ubermensch or something, because I've still sinned many times in high school. A lot of the problems I had in high school were due to me being a Christian, but a lot of times it was just I was, a bad friend to a lot of people. I lost some of my friends due to my beliefs, but I also lost friends due to my own sin. So I wasn't this, Christian superhero or something. But I had to still be faithful to Christianity when I was not intellectually certain of it. So in high school...
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. Is like Christianity demands that you believe in it regardless of whether there's evidence for it. And that's stupid.
Like I said, I mentioned, dating. Dating is a thing that a lot of...
And just because you were stupid doesn't mean other people should be stupid.
High schoolers really have to deal with. Everyone around...
Religious bigotry existed is a lie, even though it still exists. I missed that part, but yeah. If you're saying that religious bigotry, like, I'm sure even he would acknowledge that religious bigotry does and did exist, right? Like, he would have to acknowledge that. So if he did say that it doesn't exist, then I think that he would clarify. Like, I'm trying to be charitable as possible. I'm fairly sure he would clarify that, but he'd probably also say that, like, hating gay people isn't bigotry, It's just me being faithful, right?
Around me was pressuring me, you shouldn't only date Christian girls because there were no Christian girls where I was. So there was a lot of pressure to just date some Jewish or
Christian girls are some of the most boring fucking girls you'll ever meet. Just saying.
Secular girl, because that's what the majority of the population around me was.
Yes, and now you're not. Kind of, yes. It's, you know what I meant. The ones who are pretty profoundly religious.
But it was a tough existential decision for me. But at the end of the day, I decided
We have a baby. Baby alert. Say hi, baby. Baby alert. Look at the baby. She's been getting on me a lot. Gremlin. Ruly. Back to this.
I'm going to be faithful to what the Bible says, even if everyone around me tells me not to.
Even if all the evidence points against it.
Trust the Bible.
Got it.
And what happened once the pandemic started, I met my fiance, even though I had to go over 1,000 miles away to find her. And
cool. Wow.
For me...
Wow, you just found her. Just randomly found her. I'm sure that was on a dating site, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, that wasn't God. That was just you getting on a dating site and then finding a girl that lives thousands of miles away and going to meet her and marry her. That's not God. That's not evidence for God. That's not God helping you. That's getting on a dating site.
That personal
I did the same
experience.
thing.
There's also a ton of coincidences with how I met my fiance.
Thankfully, she was a little closer.
That was sort of like a validation from God, like a personal message from God, based on his providence. Not like I heard any sort of audible voice, but just a personal message.
Was it a personal message from God that I met Katie? No, that was me getting on Tinder and paying for Tinder Gold, and then super liking her,
saying that it's good to trust in God. It's, as the Psalm says, it's better to trust in God than to trust in mankind. So I guess my final word for those having existential doubts about the faith is, even if it seems like it's hard to believe.
Yeah, trust the guy that, in as far as he exists, only gives you the most abstract, unclear evidence of his existence in ways that could very well be explained by him not existing at all, actually. Like finding a girl on a dating website. That's who God is. That's what he wants you to believe in him based on that.
What matters is that you your will is oriented towards God, even if your intellect maybe isn't, even if it's hard for you to believe.
If your intellect is not quote unquote oriented towards God, then maybe that's your intellect trying to tell you that God isn't real. Okay?
If you trust in God, despite the fact that your intellect seems unconvinced.
Despite the fact that everything in your body is telling you that he's not real and you shouldn't believe. Go on.
That is the greatest act of faith. And that will inspire you, that will drive you to be a much more faithful Christian. So thanks for watching this, and I will see you guys later.
Yeah, cult shit. That's all that is, cult shit. Believe things that we tell you to believe because we told you to believe them. Don't ask for any evidence, and if you do, accept the evidence that is not actually evidence that we provide for you. And as long as ultimately you're believing the thing that, we tell you to believe, then you won't be damned to eternal damnation in hell. Very good message. Very good message. You know what?
Win rate.
Stop chewing on the cord. Very cool. Very cool as always. Thank you very much, Redeem Zoomer. You're still just as dumb as ever. All right. Well, that was fun. I feel like I was not as animated today as I usually am, so I apologize. I think I am going to end it here, though. I know it's a little bit sooner than I usually end streams, but I'm getting a little tired. So I'm going to end it. I had a lot going on today. I crocheted almost that whole damn Darth Vader thing today. Well, no, that's a lie. I already had most of it crocheted. But I worked on it a lot today, and I also shipped out those orders from my Etsy shop. So if you want to go to my Etsy shop and order some balls, some fuzzy balls that I'll show you here, you should do that. You can find the Etsy link in my YouTube description. Okay, real quick before I go. Fuzzy balls. Fuzzy stress balls, freshly shipped out today. I should be in bed already. Well, there you go. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to drop you guys off, I believe, with Shark 300. Since he's live, and it's been a while since we've rated him. Everyone loves my fuzzy balls, exactly. Okay. All right. Get on over to Shark. Where's he at? There you are. Have a good time with Shark. I will see you. I will try to be streaming every Tuesday and Friday like I used to. I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule, trying to get the YouTube uploads going again. So bear with me while I get back into the routine. But Lady Nova, Straw Hat Monty, Lindsay, and YouTube chat, MD Pal, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Appreciate you all very much. Don't forget to sign up for Progressive Victory. You can find the link in the announcements section of my Discord. You can also find it. I'll put it in the YouTube description of this VOD real quick. You can find it in my latest upload as well. Establishing Duns are trying to oust Jamal Bowman. So get on over there, sign up, and meet me in Yonkers, New York. We're going to have a good time. So, yeah. Thank you all again for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see some of you in New York next week. Should be fun. Take care, everybody. One sec.